Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Michi Makes Up. In today's video, I'm going to compare and contrast two of Ilia's complexion products. I've tried both of these products at least a dozen times. In fact, one of them I tried throughout most of 2024, so I feel like I can really give an honest opinion after trying it under different conditions. And then I'll also demo for you one of the two products. I am going out tonight, so I'm actually not going to put two different foundations on my face. So I'm just going to put one. However, we will do some hand swatches so you guys can take a look at the differences. Right now, my skin looks really patchy because I did do concealer and my brows, but that is it because I did want to save real estate to demo one of the foundations. And I have here the Super Serum Skin Tint with SPF 40. I have two shades. One is ST3 Balos, and then the other is ST9 Paloma. If you're wondering why I have 3 and 9, that seems to be such a big difference. Like there's 6 different other foundation shades in between these two. Well, it has to do with their tones. So Ilia has like a huge shade offering in both of these foundations, and they have, you know, like ST1, for example, might be a cool tone, and ST2 would be a warm tone. ST3 is the neutral tone. Same thing here. So with the 9 Paloma, this is a neutral tone, but it took several shades until we got to the next neutral. The reason why I picked up 2 is that at peak of summer, I really need something that fits my skin tone more. So I did pick up this, and then in probably tail end of winter, middle of winter to tail end of winter, I'm really more ST3 Balos. And when I combine the two, depending on, you know, how many drops I use of each one, I am able to get something that really fits me throughout the season. So I ended up with 2. And then for the complexion stick, to my surprise, I didn't really have to pick up 2 because 6N Aspen is the shade that I have here. This one I was able to just right away find a better match that I think you can use for many parts of the month. It might be a touch deeper than my current skin is now. We are at the tail end of winter. However, I know I can wear this all throughout like early summer, spring, early summer, and I kind of like that. So it's just interesting, depending on the texture, the shade results that they give you, that they have available, just vary a little bit from each other. So if you have neutral undertones like myself, I hope you find these shade pairings helpful to you in your research. Talk about the Super Serum Skin Tint with SPF 40 because this is the product that I used most of last year. It has, because it's a serum, it has a lot of skincare ingredients like niacinamide, squalane, and hyaluronic acid. It has a dewy finish. If you pair it with the right kind of glowy primer or moisturizer underneath, you could come across as like just kind of glossy, but in a good way, in a good way. And I was really interested in this for 2 reasons. One, it has SPF 40. I wanted to shorten my routine, and this really appealed to me that it had both like the foundation part and I didn't have to put sunscreen underneath it. The second was a dewy finish. I just wanted something that would kind of liven up my skin. I picked this up during early spring, so I was just in the right mood to get something that was kind of dewy. And so let me just do a quick hand swatch for you. A little goes a long way. You can see it's pretty liquid, being that this is a serum. And so this is ST3. Now, because the coverage is, it can be sheer and it is buildable, I can get away with a lighter shade. My hand is a deeper shade than my face actually, so I can get away with the shade, and I can, you know, bronze it up a little bit if I find that there's too much disparity between my neck and the face. So you can see that dewiness, the way it reflects light. It does have a skincare scent to it, which some people may not like. So it's unscented. It just smells like the ingredients. And then it can be kind of strong, although it does dissipate soon enough. And let me do a hand swatch of ST9 for you. So ST9 is probably a better fit with that sheer application, but once I build on it, it gets a little bit too deep at this time of the year. I think this is just so beautiful, the way it reflects or just makes your skin dewy. It looks healthy and well hydrated. The thing with dewy foundations is that they just don't have the same long wear lasting ability as a matte foundation and a natural finish foundation. And so by 6 hours or so, a lot of oxidization would have occurred by then. I definitely see it. I wouldn't be wearing this if I know I have a long day ahead of me, and certainly if I'm not planning to go anywhere after work. But it is still beautiful, and I used it throughout most of last year. Let's move on to the complexion stick. So this is the Skin Rewind Complexion Stick. I do find that, you know, both of the Ilia complexion products I've been pretty satisfied with. Now you can see this has a natural finish, so depending on your skin type, if you have dry skin, this may not be suitable, but right away you can see just that blurred effect here. Being of a thicker consistency, this is definitely more medium buildable coverage. And once again, these are sheer buildable, but you're gonna get maybe light medium coverage at the most. I did actually wear this foundation, the serum, for a family photo shoot last year, and I love the results. It turned out great. It's just not something I would recommend if you are going to be in a studio somewhere and you have just all this light blasting. I would look for something that's a little bit more matte. So I just did another drop here because I want to show you that this is buildable. I think beyond the 2 drops though, if you have more, it starts to feel pretty thick and gets heavy on the skin. Beautiful finish though. This is something I will definitely look forward to using as the weather gets warmer. So now that we've kind of done the hand swatches, I'm gonna go ahead and actually apply this on my face. Just so you know, I do have SUQQU's Sheer Glow Rose Face Tint. So any kind of dewiness you see is actually from this. My moisturizer I'm using is natural finish. There's no glowing properties, there's no specks or sparkles in it. So let me just apply this on. So just a few swipes here, you can see it's more of a light coverage, and I do plan to go in with a second application to build it up a little bit more. And that's with 2 applications on the face. I've also applied the foundation here. You can see texture is more blurred, it's smoother versus the side where I don't have any foundation on. And I'm gonna go and finish up the rest of the face here, also doing 2 applications on areas that need it. And we'll come back and take a look at once everything is set. So this is with the foundation fully applied on my face. I also took a few minutes here off camera because I have a blemish right here to just like dab some on with a brush and then to powder it and set it. I do have applied loose powder under my eyes just to set the concealer, which by the way is Merit's, the Minimalist in the shade Silk. I use that as my concealer. And then I'm going to now go in and powder the rest of my face to set the foundation, but I just want you to see how even my skin looks. I do really like that blurring effect from the stick foundation here. And then we'll just take a look at the back of my hand. You can still see the dewiness. So I'm gonna go in now to powder my face, and I am using Ilia's. This is their Fade Into You Soft Focus Finishing Powder. I have been really into loose powders recently, and I'm just trying this new Ilia, or new to me, Ilia product for face powder. It is white, so It can, if you apply too much, give you a bit of a cast, so I'm just going to go in very sparingly. And this brush is what allows me to apply the loose powder in a very airy manner. I can use it in a circular motion, almost buffing it, or I can just roll it on like this, and I don't feel like it's taking the foundation away. I feel very adequately powdered, like the foundation is very well set now. This is Sonia G's latest brush launch, part of the Voyage set. So there's three brushes in this set. I do have a video on my first impressions, and I'm using this as much as I can, all three brushes, so that I can come back with a kind of, detailed review of my experiences with these brushes. But so far, I'm just really enjoying them, especially these two. And if you're interested, I will have a link, if not above, and definitely below, so you guys can have a look. So the next thing I want to do is then actually powder the foundation that's on my hand so you can see the difference. Because I went in with two applications on my face, I'm going to do that with the hand too. I'm just going to, once again, use a finger to blend it out. But you can see now it's even, this area here is even more blurred than compared to this side. For foundations, you don't necessarily have to powder them if you don't want. You don't have to set them if you don't want. But I'm somebody who does not like, you know, my hair sticking to my face because of foundation. And so setting it helps with getting, you know, preventing that, but also just helps it last a bit longer throughout the day. So I'm gonna go in with this brush actually, and then I'm gonna lightly powder both sides. So notice how this is very dewy looking. We're just gonna go in and powder. You can see the dewiness is still visible, and when I go in to touch it, it definitely still feels not tacky, but I can feel that I have something dewy underneath that powder. That would be usually what I do to set it. Sometimes I might go in and do a second application to set it. So it still has that sheen, glisten to it, just a little bit less. Do that for the other hand here. And for this one, I would not go back in for more, maybe certain areas that require it, but as it doesn't have the same kind of emollients as the serum, it really doesn't need as much. Again, depends on your preference, but this is just one application is good enough for me. When I look at both hands, just up close like this, of course, the serum is more hydrated looking on the skin and less, you can see less lines. And with the stick foundation, I can definitely see more lines as well. So that's why, again, if you have dry skin, the stick foundation is probably not suitable for you. Likely the serum might be something you want to look into. But if you have combo skin or normal skin, I think the stick foundation may be a good choice, just depending on the kind of finish you want. So I'm gonna go and complete the rest of my look. I'm going out tonight, so I'm gonna do something a little bit more fun, a little bit more elaborate, and then we'll come back to talk about, kind of give my summarized thoughts and just talk about how it looks with after some time on the back of my hand, but also on my face. I finished the look on my eyes, and I'll talk about what I use, how I achieved this look in just a few minutes here. But before I apply blush, I did want to just one more time show you what things look like now that it's been about 15 minutes since I applied the foundation. And also on the back of my hand here, there really hasn't been much change. The only thing is, because I didn't have any hand moisturizer on, in fact, I just washed my hand with soap before I started the video, I can see more lines, and I think you might be able to on camera, than this side here. So my recommendation is, if you have normal skin, or maybe if you have oily combo skin, having a light moisturizer would be good for the stick foundation. And then you might want to go with even no moisturizer with the serum, because it's chock full of hydrating ingredients. So you can play around with what you wear underneath. And I find that either way, whether you wear really good primer or no primer, to me, the serum stays on about the same. It might slow down the oxidization a little bit, but it's about the same. It's just not a foundation I can wear all day long and have it look like this the whole time, or is similar to this. The stick foundation will last a bit longer, again, with the texture and consistency and just the ingredients. So let me apply some blush here. I'm using SUQQU's newly launched blush. This is a limited edition. If you are interested in this collection, it is still available on, actually, I think most, if not all, the regular retailers that carry them, and that's going to be Selfridges, Cult Beauty, Liberty London, Harrods, for example. And so I'm going for a very pink look today. And that is how it looks with the blush applied. We're missing some lipstick here. Let me find the right lipstick and then come back. But before I do that, I did use the Natasha Denona Roxa palette. This is what I got from my Lucky Bag 2025. And so I was really, really happy to receive this. These are pink, purple, mauves. I love these shades. And today what I did was I took the shade here. This is Phoebe. I put it under the eyes as my kind of base shade, also to help kind of mattify anything that was glistening from my eye cream moisturizer. I also have stopped using eye primer because it irritates my eyes, and so that's all I do. I just apply this matte powder underneath. And then I took Orchid, and I put Orchid starting from the outer corner towards the middle of the lid. I think I did 2 layers of that to build it up, just with this blending brush here from Chikuhodo Z series. And then I combine Cherise and the shade here, which is Eclipse, blended these two to do a deeper shade just above the lash line, and then blended it towards like the outer corner a little bit to just deepen these 2 areas here. I use the shade Regal with my finger, just very generously tap it on, blend it a bit, tap it on, blend it a bit, all the way from the inner corner to the center of the lid. And then as a lid topper, I used Stargirl and just very generously put that on the center right here. I think I'm good. I don't think I'm going to put anything on the lower lash line today, just like how clean this looks. And then let me come back with the lipstick. For lips, I'm going to use SUQQU's newly launched Velvet Fit lipstick, and this is in the shade 05 Nenge. And this is a really pretty cool pink that I think will go very well with this makeup look. So this is with 2 applications, and these Velvet Fit lipsticks do have more of a matte finish than they do satin, but I am very well moisturized under the lips. I'm actually using Orig's, I think, lip treatment, and so it's just going to look a bit more satin. But as the moisture dissipates, it will definitely appear more matte. Yeah, if you're interested in any of the SUQQU items, I do have a whole video on the collection, as well as a deep dive into these brand new line of lipsticks from them. I do really enjoy both foundations. Neither of them are scented, although this does have that skincare scent that might turn people off a little bit. The way that I think of these foundations and how I use them is just dependent upon if I want a dewy finish versus a natural finish. And even with the stick foundation, I can have some dewiness to it by what I wear underneath the foundation. So I kind of like that flexibility. With the serum, you're just gonna get a dewy finish, and that might not be something you want too often to warrant getting this. And if I only had to pick one, I think I'm gonna go with the stick foundation. That's because I have more combo skin, and I can adjust the dewiness with highlighter, with a glowing primer underneath versus the serum, but it does not have SPF. So some trade-offs here and there. I hope you found this video helpful. If you want more details on any of the foundations, any questions you can think of, please let me know below. I will see you guys next time. Bye.